Say those words, and then threaten me with arrest. If I don't show you my ID, then I'll show you my ID.
Well, that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, right? Because you know what's gonna happen after. I'm gonna have to go make a complaint.
During his lunch break, a law student parked on private property when officers approached, demanding his ID without any clear reason. The lead officer falsely claimed he was required to identify himself just for being there, citing vague suspicious activity, but offering no specific suspicion of a crime. The student, knowing his rights, refused to answer questions and calmly stood his ground. When they couldn't get his ID, he asked for a supervisor. But instead of de-escalating, the supervisor only made things worse.
What's going on, man?
Nothing.
You know the people that own this property?
I don't answer questions.
Huh?
I don't answer questions.
You don't answer questions?
No, sir.
All right, I'm Officer T with the Hardyville Police Department.
Nice to meet you.
I just want to let you know I'm out with you, okay? It's just because you're in this property.
Okay.
Okay. Just checking to see if you know the people that own this place.
Okay.
We've had people drive through the yard and cause some damage.
I understand.
That's it. So if you don't know them and you're not supposed to be here, then you need to leave the property, okay? Is that fair?
I don't answer questions.
You don't answer questions?
No,
I'll tell you what, you got your driver's license on you?
For what, sir?
Because I'm getting out with you because you're on property that doesn't belong to you.
How do you know this, sir?
Because you won't answer my questions, so now I want to identify you to find out.
Can I talk to your supervisor?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, that's perfect. 514, Tango 2.
My heart always starts beating every time I talk to a cop. I don't know why.
Don't listen, man. It ain't got to be like that.
No, I'm saying every time I
You
talk
don't have to, though. You know what I mean? Just chill. Just conversation.
I understand. I understand that, but you know, with what's going on nowadays, cops fish a lot.
Not here.
So you know, I like to make sure.
You're on property that you don't own. Okay.
You don't know that, sir.
I do know that you don't own this property.
Okay.
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 So you're on property that you don't own. Now, if you have permission to be here, that's fine. But you won't identify yourself, so I don't know that you got permission to be here or not.
Okay.
Okay. So, it's no big deal. He'll be here in a minute.
Thank you. Am I being detained?
You're being detained, yes.
Okay. For what crime? Am I?
Because you wanted to talk to my supervisor. I'm out.
I'm being detained because I want to speak to your supervisor?
I'm trying to find out why you're on this property, okay?
Okay. I should have stayed over there in the shadow.
It's a little bit hotter under direct sunlight.
I'm on my lunch break. I always look for a little...
So, that's where I know you from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
But there's no reason to do that. Does that make sense?
It doesn't.
Okay, so again, I've already explained why I got out with you.
And I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I'm just you getting my information is what I'm not cool with. I'll talk to your supervisor. He's here.
That's fine. Mm-hmm. So he's on property that he doesn't own. I go to get out with him. He pulls through the yard to come out here. Mm-hmm. So then I drive around, block him off. He immediately doesn't want to identify himself. Doesn't want to tell me why he's here. So now he only wants to speak to a supervisor. So that would be you because I don't have a supervisor.
Yeah. What's up?
I don't know. I was at the little part right of the concrete. He pulled behind me. I saw he was reading my... He was...
The concrete right here?
Right here where the little shadow is.
Yeah.
I was there and he pulled behind me, started checking my plates.
Yeah.
So he's...
Do you live here?
I don't answer questions. When
so that's what I got.
So when I was
I believe you were difficult the last time we talked to you at the park.
I didn't. Did I speak with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is obviously because you were on lunch break, correct? Are you on lunch break today?
I don't answer questions.
You don't answer questions.
No,
okay.
Sir.
So you're driving in this state though, and you're on property that is not yours. You understand that, right?
I don't answer questions, sir.
Do you understand that?
I don't answer questions. Okay. That's a question. I don't answer questions.
So listen, man, you're making this more difficult than it needs to be. Mm-hmm. You understand that, right?
I don't answer questions.
You understand what I'm saying?
I don't answer questions.
So this is what I got.
You do realize that, like, you acting like this is not helping the situation.
I understand. I'll answer that question. I understand that.
You understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the reason for being difficult? Please tell me.
I don't answer questions, but let me ask you a question. Am I being detained right now?
What's that?
Am I being detained right now?
Yes, you are.
For what reason, sir?
For what reason?
Yes.
For you're on private property that is not yours.
How do you know this?
What's that?
How do you know this?
This vehicle does not return to here. You will not provide any information that say this property is yours. We patrol this area every single day. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And your car has never been here. And you don't live in that trailer. You understand the police department is a block down the street, right?
I'll answer that question.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so if you can tell me that you're here visiting a friend and we can verify that, we'll be out of here.
I don't answer questions, sir.
But
so if
that's
I
not
don't answer
answering
none
the
of your
question.
questions, what's gonna happen to me at this point?
What do you mean?
What's gonna happen? Because I'm missing my lunch break because he told me that I was being detained. After I was being detained, I told him I'll speak to a supervisor.
Yeah.
So I
So are
want to
you
know
going
what's...
to speak with me, or are you going to play these games? Because I'm all with being a grown adult in this situation, okay? And I understand your rights and all that, okay? All right?
Am I required to answer your questions?
You are at this point because he is out with you, okay?
So
as a suspicious vehicle on private property.
Okay.
So at this point,
He has to
okay, all we
investigate.
need is reasonable suspicion. You understand that, correct?
Suspicion of what?
What's that?
Suspicion of what?
That any type of criminal activity may be afoot.
Like what,
all right,
sir?
being able to invest until our investigation or our suspicion is dispelled, we can ask you questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I
You
have to
understand
answer
that?
them?
What's that?
Do I have to answer your questions?
You have the right to remain silent in anything you want.
Then I'll remain silent, sir. Until you're done with your investigation, I'll be all.
However, what you're leading us to, and this is completely unnecessary. Okay.
So if I'm not doing anything wrong,
Listen,
I'm supposed to prove to you that I'm not doing nothing wrong? Is that how it works? I'm asking a question to you that you're a supervisor.
Okay, so, yeah. All right. So let me explain it to you one more time. Okay. You're on property that does not belong to you. Correct. Yes. Because you don't answer questions. But that is correct. 100% truth at this point. An officer sees that you're here, goes out with your vehicle, and sees that the vehicle is occupied by one individual, which is you.
Yes.
That's truth, okay? So from that point, what are you doing here, sir? Do you live here? No,
I don't answer questions.
Okay.
And that's what I told him.
So do you understand what our job is?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Investigate
So
away.
if you're not where you're
I'm not
supposed to
stopping
be,
you.
go knock on their door.
He would tell me. Now, let's say this.
Listen,
If I would have answered all your questions,
we would be done.
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So what's
Like,
the
you're
difference?
making this more
so
difficult.
what's the difference? If I would answer your
Because
questions,
listen. A reasonable person would answer those questions.
Okay.
Okay? And they would understand that when a law enforcement officer stops you in a vehicle, that you're required to identify yourself at that point.
Okay,
Okay?
I'll make sure with the chief if that's correct, because that's why I'm recording this.
That's fine.
because
We're recording
then,
too.
Then I'll take it up a little higher and find out if if everything that you guys have done from the moment that I started recording was correct. We'll find out, because
That's
I know I'm not doing nothing wrong.
You're absolutely doing something wrong by not identifying yourself at this point.
Have I committed a crime?
What's that?
Have I committed a crime?
Have you committed a crime?
Yes.
As far as what? Trespassing?
Trespassing.
Yes, you have.
So
You have committed
so the
a
law for trespassing, don't I have to be told to leave in order for me to be trespassed?
What's that?
Don't I have to be told to leave a place in order to be trespassed?
You could be, yes. All right, but if it's posted, no. Or if the resident calls and says there's somebody here and I don't want him here,
did someone
we can
call?
come make contact with you
Did someone call?
and
I
identify
wanna
you.
know.
No one
Okay,
called.
okay.
Again, I don't understand why you're making this more difficult than it needs to be.
I have my reasons, but I'm not gonna do.
Well, you did this last time too.
I'm not
at
gonna,
the park.
I'm not gonna divulge
So
that.
it's not something new with you.
What did I do last time at the park?
The exact same thing with this officer.
And what happened?
What's that?
What happened that
You
time?
ended up identifying yourself once I spoke to you.
I did not.
Yes,
Yes, you did.
I didn't show anything. Did I?
Yes.
Yeah.
You identified yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's why.
Okay.
So
in
again,
that time,
if you have an issue with the way things
So-
are being handled, I have no problem with talking
and I
to you.
do, and that's why I'm recording this, because I have my reasons. Now I'm gonna let you do your job. I'm not stopping you from doing that.
No,
is
what
that
you're-
true?
What you're doing right
Because
now?
look,
listen,
don't
I'm
I
gonna
have
be-
the right to remain silent?
You always have the right to remain silent.
If you haven't told me I committed a crime,
Do you have a driver's license?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, so see, here we go. So you expect us to let you drive off?
What have I done wrong?
I've already told you that.
What?
You're on property that does not belong to you.
How
correct?
do you know that?
What's that?
How do you know that?
Because I know you do not live here.
Who told you this information?
What's that?
Who told you this information?
That's from knowing the community. The
Okay.
street that we drive down hundreds of times every single day.
Okay.
Okay?
So you know
So
everyone
again,
that lives
listen.
here. No, I'm asking a question. You know
ahead.
everyone that lives here. You know all their friends. You know everybody. You know everybody that's doing business here. You know everybody that works here. Is that correct? And I don't.
No, that's not correct.
And I don't belong. Just the way I look there, I don't belong there, right?
People don't park right there on somebody's front lawn that don't live here. You understand that, right?
I don't answer questions, sir.
So
You keep asking questions that I don't want to answer. So
It's just a
don't
simple
I
question.
have the right to not answer the questions I don't want to
You
answer?
cannot answer whatever
so
you
I
want.
remain silent. So whatever question you ask, I'll plead the fifth. I'll stay quiet.
okay.
And I'll let you do what you gotta do. Like I said, I know I'm not doing
Listen,
nothing
man.
wrong. I know I'm not doing nothing
no
wrong.
one's even saying you're doing anything wrong.
So why am I being
What-
detained? Why is he asking for my license when nobody has called? Nobody has told me to leave. My car wasn't off. Oh, was it off?
You started driving.
I'm
and
asking,
got
was my car?
I don't know.
You don't answer questions either?
I said I don't know.
I'm sorry, just playing. Sorry.
All right, look,
I get nervous.
I'm done with you.
Okay, go ahead. Do
Are
what
you
you
gonna
gotta do.
identify yourself or not?
What's gonna happen if I don't show any
Well,
identification?
I can't let you leave because I don't know if you have a driver's license.
Then I'll
Does that
stay
make
here. Do you want me
sense?
to turn off the car? I'll turn it off. Keys on board. Cause sir, I haven't been told to leave. I was in the little.
Listen.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
I understand what you're saying
Okay.
as far as you haven't been told to leave and that, you know,
know-
were just parked here.
I'm sorry to
However,
interrupt you. Last time I spoke to your chief, he told me that nobody should have kicked me out of that place, that I was in a public place. I was kicked out of it.
Okay.
So my thing is this. Who took you saying just because of your knowledge of the people that live here? Now, where's the sign that I said that I can't park there to turn around to do anything?
Listen.
Now, I was gonna finish, but I'll let you.
I
finish.
understand
Go
where
ahead.
you're going with this, all right? And you have a valid point, okay? As far as, are there no trespassing signs posted on the property? I don't see any, okay? So I'll agree with you on
What
that.
if I was looking for land?
Listen.
What if I'm looking for information to buy?
Then let me ask you this.
Which I am, by the way.
Let me
But go ahead.
Let me ask you this, okay? Just again, we can play this game all day.
I'm not
all right?
playing no games, sir. This is my
Yeah.
life. I have to be sure of
Okay,
what I.
are you gonna let me talk, or are you gonna
Go ahead.
continue? All right. However, most people, when they come into contact with law enforcement, all right, will state, "Hey, what are you doing here? You're on private property." "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I will be leaving." Okay, you understand that? Or they'll say, "Oh, well, I'm checking out this land because I'm interested in buying it, and I saw it's for sale."
I'm playing the fifth every time you ask
You
a
know
question. So if I stay quiet, I don't want you to
Listen,
think
man,
it's. No, I'm
you're
just saying.
really not worth my time. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? Because
I feel sorry for that, bro.
I mean, you're really not.
Okay.
Okay. You need to leave.
I'm
all
trying
right?
to leave. I was as soon as your cop pulled behind me, I tried to leave. He didn't even have to say anything.
Listen.
As soon as he pulled behind me, I knew that it was gonna be a problem. That I was parked there. That because he said I was parked. So I tried
So if
leaving.
you knew
I
that-
wasn't gonna go.
if you knew you were doing
let me
nothing
finish.
wrong-
Let me finish. I wasn't gonna go back because he was blocking my path.
Gotcha.
At that point, what am I gonna do? There's another exit. So nowhere says you can't drive through there to here. There's nothing. And then if people didn't want,
Your involvements.
Mine.
Yeah, on this tag. I understand what you're saying. All right? I'm just, again, this is twice
I know you're explaining in
You know what
circles.
I mean?
I understand,
And-
but at this point,
but you
we're
don't
stuck.
understand.
We're stuck because I'm not showing ID.
We have
if I don't have a reason to show you ID, I'm a plead the fifth to every question you ask. So,
see-
like I said, do what you need to do. I'm not stopping you from doing nothing. If you,
But see, we're not, again,
Mm-hmm.
like, I look at things as we can play this, but you're really not worth my time. Honestly.
so can I leave?
You're not worth me ripping out of your vehicle. Okay?
I'll get out. You don't have to
You know
do
what I'm
that.
saying? I'm just saying.
If
It's
you
not
tell
worth
me to
it.
get out, I'll get out. You don't have to rip. You don't have to threaten me with ripping me out of
Well,
the
I'm
car.
just letting you know if like that's what you're looking for, like for this to escalate any further, it's not going to.
Why would I want to
Okay.
be ripped out of my own car?
Because that's what some people do, all right?
Okay. I'm not most
they
people.
do this to get a reaction from us. Again, dude.
I was
like,
enjoying my lunch break. The last
Dude,
thing
that's
I
what
want
you said the
last
last
thing I
time.
want to be doing is to be talking to you on my lunch break. I only get an hour for lunch break.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm gonna have to clock in, so I'm gonna have to start charging you by the minute because I have to be working somewhere else. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. There's guides that you have to follow, so I'm making sure that you stay by it.
Yeah.
Now, if
So
you tell
even-
me I have to do something because if not you'll arrest me, then I'll do it.
Then
So
you'll
say
do it.
those words, and then threaten me with arrest. If I don't show you my ID, then I'll show you my ID.
Well, that's ridiculous.
It's
But-
ridiculous, right? Because you know what's gonna happen after. I'm gonna have to go make a complaint on what's your badge number?
My
And your-
badge number
and your-
974480058.
What's your badge number, sir? And what's your badge number, sir? And your name, please.
Corporal Humbert.
And your name and badge number, sir. The car, it's blocking.
Carlo.
The Carlo, that's Italian.
You're correct. Are you still on Hager Boulevard?
And can you ask for the badge number of your officer and the name, please? Because he's the one that pulled me over. If you could.
Yeah, this
please.
is PFC T-Boat.
Again, the
Alright.
same person.
Yeah. So
I don't answer questions. Whatever question you gotta ask, I play the fifth, sir.
that's fine. You can plead the fifth.
Okay, thank you.
I told you that from the get-go. All right.
And I've been saying
I've just tried. You said you wanted to talk to me.
because your
So I
officer,
came here.
your officer is detaining me.
Yes, and I explained to you why, right?
And am I free to
Reasonable
go?
suspicion.
Am I free to go?
It would help. Now listen,
Answer my question and then you can go. Am I free to
No.
go?
you haven't answered a single one of my questions to dispel our myth
Because
that
I'm
there's
not.
any
I'm
type
not.
of criminal
I don't have
activity
to.
afoot,
If
okay?
if I call a lawyer right now, stay quiet. Don't say nothing.
Yeah.
So why am I
So
gonna
let me
go?
ask you this.
Let me
Maybe
finish.
you could answer this
But let
one
me finish.
without incriminating
Let me
yourself.
finish. So why am I gonna go against the advice my lawyer tells me when I'm talking to an officer?
Mm-hmm.
My thing is to let you do what you need to do. I'm letting you. I don't want to speak to you. I didn't want to speak to him. Then he says, "Oh, you want to go there? Give me your ID." So at that point, when I asked him, "Am I being detained?" He said, "Yes."
Yes.
So now I want to speak to
Yep.
you.
Yep.
That you're his supervisor.
Yep.
Correct.
Correct. And then
So
you understand I said the
let me
same
finish,
thing,
let me
correct?
finish. If you don't tell me I'm free to go, and if I'm being detained, tell me why, and if not, and after that I'll talk to your supervisor.
I told you why you're
Okay.
being detained.
Am
and
I
now
free
you
to go?
expect me to let you drive off
No, I
without
don't-
verifying that you have a good driver's
I don't
license.
expect you to do nothing, sir.
That's what you're asking us to
But your job.
do. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So if I don't show you my license, what's gonna happen? You're gonna keep me here all day?
no,
Am I gonna miss work?
I'm going to tell you not to drive.
Okay, so I'm not gonna be able to drive right now. You're gonna stop me from driving.
What's that?
You're gonna stop me from driving.
You can make your own decisions.
So can he
Does
move
have a
his car
customer
so I can?
number or what?
He's got a customer number.
What's his name?
Mr. Control.
Contreras. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So, like again, am I free to go? Well, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
What are you waiting for right now so you can let me go?
To make sure the vehicle's clear and
Okay. I'll be waiting for
see
that.
who's-
Can I get out? Because it's hot and
Yeah,
the
you
sun
can
is...
get out, come on.
As long as you're detaining me, I'd rather not stay in the car. I'm going to close the window because... Second time I'm being stopped. Missed my lunch for Mr. Tebow here. So the second time I'm gonna play more by my rights. Last time I gave my rights away, not this time. Would you agree with that, sir? Or you're not listening? Not listening. Fine.
All right. So here's where we're at. Okay. Again, you're not worth any type of lawsuit, use of force event, anything like that. All right. So if you don't
are you
listen,
gonna threaten me with that?
are you gonna listen to me?
I'm trying to.
Okay.
Without you
So,
threatening me, and then I
If
get
you don't
hyped.
have a driver's license,
Which
which you know for fact, yes or no, okay, then I would not drive. That's my advice to you. Take it, leave it, okay? Because when we stop you on a traffic stop, if that happens, you are required to identify yourself, okay? You understand that, correct?
I don't answer questions, sir.
Okay,
I told
of
you
course
any
not.
questions you
Anyways,
ask.
you
let me
can
finish.
listen.
Let me finish my answer.
No, let me finish.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
Since we can't make contact with that homeowner right now to verify that you're allowed to be here, all right? You can sit here until they get home. Sit here.
So can
All
I
right.
leave? Am I free to go?
You're free to go.
Can he move his car? Because he's blocking
moving.
my way.
He's
Thank you.
moving.
Thank you.
right.
Can I have an incident number for this, please?
Yeah, you want it?
Yes, please. I'm asking
Central
for it.
514. Hey, the event number?
And can I get the name of your supervisor, please?
Lieutenant Jenkins.
Thank you so much.
Event number, please.
Sorry, the VIN number.
Can I get your card? Can I get your card, please?
22 Hotel
Do you have a card?
12758.
you
No,
have
I
a
don't
card?
have a card.
Does anybody here
If
have a
you'd
card?
like it written down, I could write it down for you.
Does it? Yes, I want that. But also, I'm asking: does anybody here have cards, personal cards, that you're supposed to give to
No,
to people? I'm
we
just
don't.
asking. I don't know.
We don't.
I'm ignorant to when it comes to that. That's what I'm asking.
Well, you seem to know everything else.
Oh,
So,
thank you, bro. I'm Catholic.
write it down for
I
you.
study a lot, you know.
well, you obviously don't. Okay.
So
'Cause again-
where am I wrong?
What's that?
Teach me. Where am I wrong?
Because let me tell you where you're wrong.
That I'm keeping
If
you here.
officers have reasonable suspicion,
Mhm.
all right, that criminal activity may be afoot, such as trespassing is a property crime. Okay?
Yes, man.
You are required to identify yourself. You understand that, right?
I don't answer questions.
Of course not. But consider this your education session, okay? Because the next time it's not going to end up like
Not
this.
a good one, bro. You showed more attitude than everything. Can you write down the incident number, please?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your professionalism. Now I feel like Mr. Tebow, he knows me already. He remember my car. He even knows. They even told me where I live. So I feel like they have it against me now, because he even threatened me if we stop you somewhere else. That means they're gonna be looking for me.
The officers had no proof, no call from anyone, and no evidence of a crime, yet they spent nearly 20 minutes trying to force this man to give up his identity. He wasn't trespassing, wasn't causing a disturbance, and wasn't doing anything illegal. He was simply parked on private property during his lunch break, minding his own business. Still, both the officer and his supervisor ignored basic constitutional protections, demanding ID without probable cause. The man even offered a logical solution: run the tag plates, but the officer refused. And instead of asking him to leave the property if there was truly an issue, they chose to escalate and violate his rights. In the end, when every tactic failed, the frustrated officer issued a veiled threat, telling him next time he won't be let go without ID. That's not law enforcement, that's intimidation. But this law student knew his rights and didn't back down. His calm resistance exposed exactly what this encounter was: a baseless fishing expedition with no legal ground. Eventually, the officers walked away, not because they wanted to, but because they had nothing to stand on.